Jessica Alba.
Hello.
On the talk.
Hello. Hi. You look so glowy.
Oh, thank you.
Divine. You look divine.
Thank you.
You look absolutely divine. Now, earlier, we were talking about whether men get better with age. What do you think?
Well, I think they do get better. If they exercise and they, eat right, they do get better with age. As far as they treat you better, I think.
Lessons learned.
They grow up. They do grow up. I remember but like you said earlier, they do peak around their late teens, late 20s, around there. I remember when I met my husband. He had a little bit of tiny little bit of gray hairs, and he said that I gave him the rest of his gray hairs, which maybe I probably did, but it was worth it because he treats me really good now.
But that gray hair looks good on your husband. It looks good on him.
It looks good. He looks very distinguished.
And not that you're old, but you go better with age because this time around you look pregnant this time around. And did you do something different? You look kind of fit.
I didn't allow my husband to make me a pack of bacon every morning, and I told him that he wasn't allowed to order any desserts. So we had a minimum of 3 to 5 desserts every night.
But that gray hair looks good on your husband. It looks good on him.
It looks good. He looks very distinguished.
And not that you're old, but you go better with age because this time around you look pregnant this time around. And did you do something different? You look kind of fit.
I didn't allow my husband to make me a pack of bacon every morning, and I told him that he wasn't allowed to order any desserts. So we had a minimum of 3 to 5 desserts every night.
But he was doing that because you were craving for it, or because he was like, honey, you're craving it, we're gonna get it?
Oh no, he was chowing big time.
Oh, so it was for him.
It was for both of us, but it was really for him.
So sometimes men do have those cravings too. My mother used to say that. So you say that they didn't embrace your sexuality after you had your first child. Tell us what you meant by that.
I don't know. I just felt like after I became a mother, I felt sexy. I carried myself like I felt like I was my own, and I was more confident. I was more, embracing it more, and I just I don't know. I just felt like I carried myself completely different than I did before. So like I'm in this hypersexualized industry where they sexualize women so young, and I just wasn't ready for it. And they would tell you to do this magazine and pose this way, and I just and they would airbrush you and put this thing that you will never wear in your life. And I just and I was fine with it, but I just didn't have an attachment to it. So it wasn't really till I had my first daughter that I really embraced it.
Your daughter's 3 now, right? And she's finding interesting ways to get her way.
Oh yeah, she started a fib. Before she turned 3, she started steal gum out of everyone's purse, and she would, play us like one against another, and she would turn everybody, against each other and play each other. We'll play us all against each other in the house. Like if my mom came over, she would snatch gum. She'd be like, "Well, Nana gave it to me," and I'd be like, "Mom, why'd you give her gum?" And she was like, "I didn't give her gum." And she would always have gum, and I was afraid that she was gonna choke on it. So I was like, well, I might as well teach her, how to throw it away, and not to swallow it, and then just allow her to have it because she was gonna steal it. So she might as well, let her have it and not make it more of a big deal than it really needs to be.
Yeah, well, at least she's smart, right?
Yeah, she's a savvy little one.
Now with this birth you're having, you're gonna have a hypnobirth, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, hypnobirth is just a breathing technique, and it helps you visualize and relax. So while you're going into labor, which obviously I'm doing for the second time, you don't freak out, because I was so like freaked out with my first one that I didn't want to go through it with this one. You know, like when the contractions come, and um, I didn't want to start losing control, losing my mind, and freaking out, and have a meltdown. I did just That's something I didn't want to do, and so I took um, hypnobirth classes, and it just teaches you how to how to breathe and how to relax.
So what happens if for some reason you have to get an epidural?
Oh, well then that's fine. Obviously is do whatever you gotta do. A lot of my friends have epidurals, but I just think it's more complications.
Well, here's a little gift for you and the little one on the way.
Oh,
Yeah. I hope you enjoy it for your relaxation, when you do your classes.
Well, that's all for today, you guys. Jessica Alba.
Thank you.
thank you.